Hello my wonderful people, you're welcome back to the channel. So in today's tutorial I'll be showing you how I cut and sew this beautiful Zara cap with an ASO OKE. I'll be showing you in details of how I cut and sew it from beginning to the end. So kindly stay back and watch this tutorial from beginning to the end. So if today is the first time of watching my channel, you are welcome. And if you're a return subscriber, you're welcome as well. If today is the first time of watching this channel, kindly subscribe to the subscription button. Subscribe is free. So far that you are already on YouTube, to subscribe is free. You understand? So kindly please subscribe to the channel and leave your comments in the comment section concerning this tutorial. Thanks for watching the channel. Let's get started. So here is our ASO OKE that we'll be using for this tutorial, and we will need this elastic of 1 inches. We will need it, and we will need our tape rule, our scissors, and our chalk for this tutorial. Those are the things you need for this tutorial. We don't need more things. Our ASO OKE, and then we will need this art sheet as well. This art sheet, when you want to buy this art sheet, you know all these people that sells material for bag making, these people that sell material for shoe making, just go to them and just show them this material that you want to buy this art sheet for bag. You can use it for bag, we use it for shoes as well. So this is it. So the person head circumference is 22 rather. The person head circumference is 22. So since the person head circumference is 22, I'll be using 13 for this art sheet. I'll be cutting out 13 for this art sheet. 13 by 2.5. That is what I'll be using for the art sheet that I want to cut out. 13 by 2.5. So I'm going to cut it out now. 13 by 2.5, that's what you're going to use. If your edge circumference is 21, you can still use the same thing. If your edge circumference is 24, you can still use this 13. This 13 is a standard measurement. It's a very good measurement that you can use. This 13. Even if your head is big, you can still use this 13. I think it's okay. So this is it. So I will take the measurement again, 13 by 2.5. That's what I'll be using. So that is that about that. Now this is our ASO OKE. This is our ASO OKE. Let me open it. So this is it. We said the person head circumference is 22, right? 22. This is it, 22. This is the person head circumference, 22. Can you see that? Then I'm going to plus 4.5. You can decide to plus 5. It's not much. If you plus it with 5, it's not much. So I'm going to plus 5 inches or 4.5. So this is what I just cut it out. 20. Let me take it again. 22. 22. Can you see that? This is our 22. Then this is our 4.5. It's not up to 5 inches, but if you have enough fabric, you can make it 5 inches. This is it. And this is the wideness. This is 7. So the wideness is not enough. By the time you fold it like this, what will remain is very, very small. You can only use this size for a baby girl. So what I'll be doing is that I'll be cutting the 22 plus the 4.5, making 26.5 in 2 places. Then I'm going to stitch it like this. I'm going to just press my machine. You don't need to do it like you want to sew cloth. Just do it like you want to join gele. You understand? So that is that about that. I'll take it and I'll do that and I'll bring it back. Now This is another piece that you will need. This one now, this is 9.5. This is 9.5. 9.5 by the same breadth, which is 7. 9.5 by 7. So I'll be cutting that in two places as well. I'll take it to my machine. I will stitch it all round. I'm going to stitch it all round. After stitching it, I'll bring it back for you to see how I'll do that, what we have after doing it like that. So that is that, but that is another one, making two now. The first one and the second one. Now this is the last piece. This piece now, you're going to be needing 5 or 6. So I'll just cut it to 6 inches by 2. It will be 6 by 2. This last piece, 6 by 2. We fold it and we are going to turn it. We are going to stitch it and then turn it outside. So that is that about that. Now this is the one I said earlier. We have already stitched it. We have already joined it like this. We have already joined it together, and the wideness is now 14. So it's now 26.5 by 14 for the wideness. And we say the person edge circumference is 22. This is the 22, and this is what we have as extra. So it's enough for what we want to do. So the next thing we are going to do now is that we are going to fold this one. What do we have here? We said we have 2.5. So by the time you want to fold this one, you are going to fold 3 inches. The reason why to fold 3 inches is because so that this one will be able to enter, so that the art sheet we cut earlier will be able to enter freely. That's why you're going to fold it by 3 inches. I'll show you that. So here is the other one we cut earlier. We have already stitched it. Can you see we've stitched it? Can you see? I just try to open it. Just open it and pick one end and just cut it as shown. Can you see? So from this place, that is where we are going to turn it. This is where we are going to turn this one now. We are going to turn it from here. Just pull it outside and turn it outside. So this is it after turning it. This is what we have. This is what you're going to have after you turn it. And this is the small piece that we cut earlier, the one we cut 6 by 2 inches. Just pick it up like this. Just pick it up like this. So after you pick it up, take this one. This is what we're going to have. This is just how to make your bow. You know how to make your bow. Just make it the way you used to make your bow. And if you like this procedure as well, you can just go with it. So I'm just going to use my hand to stitch this together. I'm just going to use my hand to stitch it for you. So that is that about that. Now let's come back to the one I said earlier, that we are going to stitch it by 3 inches. You're going to stitch it, just stitch it by 3 inches. You don't need to fold the edge because the edge is etiaje, so you don't need to fold the edge. Make sure that you measure it as you are sewing it so that it will be very straight. So we are done stitching it. This is what we have after stitching it down. So the next thing you are going to do, just wash this place carefully. Wash it carefully. So the first thing we are going to do is that we are going to get the midpoint of this matte fabric we have on the table. We are going to get the midpoint, the half of it. Shock it out. Shock the midpoint out. Yes, this is the midpoint, right? Shock it out. After you shock it out, we are now going to put our heart sheet on it. But before we put our heart sheet, please just do it as shown. See the way I'm doing it. Open it like this. Open it like this. Can you see the way it is? If possible, take it to ironing table and iron it down. Just make sure that you do it like this, just the way I do it, and then put your hard sheet inside. Don't forget, it's going to be in the middle. This your hard sheet, it must be in the middle. Make sure that you share it into 2 equal parts and make sure that it's in the middle. Check it, is it in the middle? If it's not in the middle, you do it, make sure that it's aligned together. So this is what we're going to have after doing it like that. This is what we are going to have. So this is how it's going to be. Can you see that? So that is that about that. So the next thing we are going to do now is to put our elastic inside. We are going to put our elastic inside. So this is our elastic. This is it. So I'm going to measure out 4 inches. I'll take out 4 inches. Let me measure it again. 4 or 5 inches, either of the two. You can decide to use 4, you can decide to use 5. So I'll cut it out. Now I'm going to show you how you're going to do that. Before we put it in, go find your pin, your safety pin, because if you decide to put it as I'm putting it, it might enter. You might not be able to pull it out. So the best option is to find your safety pin to put it inside. So this is it. So when you are putting it, make sure that it reach the last place. This is the pin. I just put the pin. The pin will help me to pull it out by the time I'm done stitching it down. So just make sure that when you put the elastic, it reach the last place that the marco board reach at this place. So exactly that place, that's where the elastic should reach. I'm just trying to figure it out, just to know whether it has. And make sure that when it reach there, make sure that you arrange it, that it's flat, that the elastic is flat. So after you are done putting it like that, the next thing you're going to do is to stitch it down. So I'll take it to the machine now and I'm going to stitch it down right now. So this is it. The elastic is there. The elastic reached the last place. So I'm just trying to check if the elastic is exactly in that place. So after you are done with that, take it to the machine and stitch it down. So I'll take it now to the machine and I'm going to stitch it down. I'll show you how I'm going to do that. So this is it. The elastic is at this part. So I'll just make sure that you reverse your machine so that the stitches will not open later on. So this is it. This is what you're going to have. So you now pull this one. You pull the elastic outside as shown. Can you see? Just pull the elastic outside, and after you pull it outside like this, the next thing we're going to do now is to stitch the elastic down. Make sure that when you pull the elastic, it still draw. Make sure that it still draw, like it's still exactly. Make sure that it's still like that. Then we are going to stitch the elastic down right now. You stitch the elastic down. If you can notice, you will see that I don't finish the 5 inches that I cut earlier. So I later used 3 inches here for the sewing of the elastic, because I'm going to cut these 2 inches extra. I'll cut it out. So just stitch it down. Can you see? So the same thing you do right here. I'm just trying to cut the elastic. I'll cut it out. So this is the excess of the elastic. I don't need that. So the same thing you did right here, we are going to take it, we are going to do the same thing for the second side as well. You're going to do the same thing for this side as well. And this is it. This is the two after I already do the two side as shown. So this is what we have. So the next thing we are going to do now is to stitch it straight down. We're going to stitch it straight down. Just stitch it straight down. So after you are done sewing everything, make sure that you weave the edge of your gele, of your filler, your cap. Make sure that you weave every necessary. Oh, this is the only place you are going to weave anyway. Only this place I'm stitching right now. That's the only place you are going to weave. So make sure that you weave it so that it will make your work very, very neat. So after you are done stitching it down like that, the next thing we are going to do is to sew the edge, this last part, this edge part. So we are going to sew it. So we are going to sew it. After sewing it, the next thing we are going to do now is to turn it to the good face. We are going to turn our cap to the good face now. You're going to turn it to the good face, and after turning it, you can iron it. You can decide to iron it after you turn it finish. You can iron it. So after you are done turning it, the next thing you're going to do is that we're going to put we're going to fix the bow at the, just check the middle part of your stitch of this place, the middle part. So just use your hand to stitch it down. Just use your hand to stitch it down, and after stitching it, after sewing everything together, this is what we got. This is it. This is what everything after sewing. It's very, very easy and it's very, very lovely. If you don't want to tie gilly or sew to the party, you can just make this and you look good. Thanks so much for watching my channel. Kindly subscribe to the channel and see you guys in my next tutorial. God bless you. Bye.